Utilizing the rope lock on the deep tissue roller is super simple. You're going to start by holding it by its strings. You're going to push the whole thing down, the rope lock, and then you're going to hold the center tab to pull it into whatever position you want, and then you're going to put it into position. It should lock on its own. Alternatively, you can lock and unlock this little tab. It's just a little easier the first way I did it. We're gonna start with it in its shortest position. You want it to be sitting on the table or on the floor. If you're on a mat, yoga mat works great. I'm using it on the massage table because it's easier to see. But basically, we're gonna sit like this. And this position doesn't need to roll too much if you're just sitting on top of it using these two to penetrate into something. So we'll start with something easy like the hamstring. So right now I'm positioning like this. You could have it a little bit wider if you want. However you feel like you want it done, whatever feels like it's targeting the right muscles. But for me, squeezing the top together and spraying the bottom apart, that's a really targeted position and it feels really good right here. And what I'm gonna do here is I can move my foot up and down as I'm working here, which can increase the pressure. I can reach up and out of the heel as I flex my kneecap and I engage my quadriceps. That also helps to increase the pressure. I can do that while I'm pushing down on the leg. I can push down the leg more actively with my heel if you've got the flexibility for that. I can use my hand if I want. But honestly for me, I really like just passively having the leg crossed. It's easy. I can do a little bit of leg movement. I feel like I need it to be accelerated a bit. I'm going to open that up just a little bit more so that I can roll up and down a little easier. Oh yeah, and then right by the glute there, that's another good spot for me. So I'm gonna sit up on the device, and I'm gonna put my weight in, and that really does the trick, man. And again, 20 seconds to 2 minutes. At 20 seconds, we're releasing muscle, up to 2 minutes for fascia to release. So you really wanna be paying attention to the muscle that's being worked on, and if it's able to relax and release. And if it continues to relax more and more, you're still doing work, you should stay on it, Notice your breathing. Breathing really helps. Taking some deep, relaxed breaths while you're using it for it to be more effective. Let's see, the next one we're going to show is the calf. So for the calf, I want this to be wrapped around my calf, right? So the position that we're going to be in is going to be a little bit wider. And the idea is, just like my arm here, which you can see a little bit better, it's wrapped around it and it's pinching in, and I can roll up and down on it. So we're going to do that at the calf. So I'm going to have my calf's in between. Oh yeah, and it's a little bit too open if you can feel the rope beneath. So right now, I'm feeling the rope just a little bit, so I'm just gonna close it like 1/4 of an inch. I bet you that solves the problem. Yeah, for me, that's solving the problem right now. So I can use this foot and both my arms while I just have my butt just slightly off the table to roll up and down. I can turn my leg in it, which is gonna target different areas. I can hold the position. Again, for that deep change, we need to hold the position, and I can do some foot movement while I'm holding the position. And this can really be helpful for the calf. The next position for the calf is I'm going to close the roller all the way, and again, I'm going to tilt out the sides and have these blades going directly into my calf. So I had already gone up and down the calf, which showed me where there's some sore spots, and so now I can target those sore spots with this more targeted approach. Next, we're going to keep it in that same position, and I'm going to have my hip bone here and my IT band, which runs along the outside of the leg, in between the rollers, which should help it to be less sensitive. One of the problems with a traditional foam roller on the IT band is that you're working directly on the IT band, and it's really painful and not as effective as working on the attachments that are on either side of the IT band. In the IT band, most of the leg muscles or the thigh muscles attach to it or under it or interact with it in some way, and so it's really helpful to work on those muscles to affect the IT band directly. And oh god, that's a really sensitive spot on me. I'm a bicyclist, so I do a lot of leg work, so it can get really tender, and it's really helpful for ongoing maintenance for me to be using the roller on a regular basis. And I'm just gonna sit here because this is really intense. You can roll up and down though. I can take my weight off of it with my foot to just sort of do a superficial scan. The superficial work is great where you're moving like this. It's just that it's not gonna create it's not going to create the deep effect of just hanging out there. And you'll find that this guy kind of like will roll out and in, so sometimes you got to readjust it. Like right now, it's a little bit too pointed on this spot, so I'm going to widen it. I'm going to lift up off of it just a little bit, widen it, and sit back down into it, and that feels way better. So a second ago, the blades were too far pointed in, which for this area was just too much for me. So I just moved the blades out a little bit, and now I can just dump all my weight into it and I feel good. But before, I felt my whole body like freaking out, you know, like it was hurting, like it was a little bit of a sharp sensation in the leg. And so when I opened up the roller, it really softened the feeling and made it so I can tolerate it again. So, you know, if I was doing this as a therapeutic exercise and not just this demo video, I would be hanging out here for a long time because this is a really sensitive area for my body. Next one we're going to do is the quadriceps, the front of the leg. So this one's pretty easy. I'm going to start above the knee. Don't really want to work on the kneecap itself. Right above it's a good spot, and I'm just going to hang out here. So for me, I can raise the leg to intensify the pressure. I can hook this toe on this heel if I want even more pressure, or even more pressure, I can bring my right side of my body up off the table. I'm going to exaggerate it, but I'm basically doing this. But I just want to lift a little bit, just so I can feel more pressure in the quadricep. Oh yeah, that spot feels good right there. And just hang out, you know, again, 20 seconds to 2 minutes. Next, I'm going to show you how to work on your gluteal muscles using the deep tissue roller. There's a couple ways to do it. The first one, we're going to start with it pretty close together. I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to put this right on my hip here. Right, I want my hip bone, which is right here, to be in the middle of the roller. And this is going to be, these blades of the roller are going to be on either side. And I'm just going to sit on it. I'm just going to lean into it. That's it, just that. It's a really simple move. This is really effective. I'm feeling it in my gluteus medius and minimus in the back. In the front, I can feel it on my TFL. If I want to lay down, I can. This intensifies the pressure. Puts it a little bit more in the front on my TFL. This feels great. It's super easy to do. This is a really accessible way to use the device. The other way we're going to work on our glutes is working on both sides at once, and we're going to do that by separating the roller out. It's going to be pretty wide. I'm a big guy, so I'm like almost all the way out. But basically, you want to be on either side. So we can do this in the front also for the TFLs, or on the back. I'm going to do it on the back. For my gluteus muscles, we're going to be getting both sides of the glutes at the same time. So my glutes are here. All I'm doing is laying here on the roller. I can move it a little bit further up to target a different area. Right now, it's pretty wide out on my glutes. I can shorten the roller to make it a little bit shorter. I can raise my legs to intensify the pressure. Again, we're stacking weight on top of the device so that I can stay relaxed down here and I don't have to do anything to increase the weight. If I cross my leg over, now it feels different on both sides. The left side is feeling more stretched out. The right side is feeling a little less intense. I can do that on both sides. If I raise that, again, we're intensifying the pressure by stacking weight above the device. I can shorten the device, so I'm going to shorten the device from here to, I don't know, maybe about here. This is going to be a little bit more medial, so it's going to address the part of my gluteal muscles that are more towards the inside. I feel this right on either side of my sacrum, the bone in the middle. It's a little wedge-shaped bone in the middle. That's where the attachment points are for the gluteal muscles, and I'm right on the outside of that sacrum bone. I can put it all the way to the smallest position, and I can do the same. You really don't want to put any pressure on your coccyx, which is at the bottom tip of that of the sacrum. It's also known as the tailbone. We want to put no pressure on the tailbone, but this device is great because it provides an opening for my tailbone, so I can work on the gluteal attachments on either side of that tailbone, and I can work up onto the sacrum itself. So right now I'm on the actual body of the sacrum. Behind the sacral bone is a very thick part of fascia called the lumbodorsal fascia. It starts on the sacrum. This is a really great area to get worked on. It can help to release all the muscles that attach to this lumbodorsal fascia. So that's the gluteal muscles in your butt. That's your low back muscles. That's your even some of your abdominal muscles attached to this lumbodorsal fascia, and all these areas can be helped by sitting here and letting yourself stay here for a while. Remember, for muscle it's 20 seconds, and since lumbodorsal fascia is fascia, that's going to take up to 2 minutes to create change. So you want to take your time, spend your time here. I'm focusing on letting my hips relax, letting all the weight come out of my hips, and just noticing my breathing. I'm just going to chill out here. This is a great place to get work done. Now I'm going to work on the upper back between the shoulder blades. I'm going to have the roller close together like this, and I'm going to set it on the ground or on your massage mat, on your massage table if you got one. And then I'm going to lay on it, and I'm just going to feel for, as I lay down, I want to feel for where that roller is touching my spine, and I want it to be on either side of the spinous processes. So I don't want contact right directly on the midline of the spine. I want it on the muscle groups that are on either side of the spine. So I'm going to sit here. Oh yeah, that feels good. I'm going to hold my head to make sure that I'm not straining my neck, and I'm going to just relax. That's it. That's all I got to do. Now, right now, it's at its closest position, so that's going to be really close to the spine. And if I want it to be a little bit further out, I can do a couple things. One is I can change the position of the roller, but I'm going to widen it a little bit because this is a more stable position than trying to keep it in this position, which is okay. You can try that too, but I like the stability of it being in this position. So now, it's a little bit wider. It's going to address a little bit of a different part of my spine. Still feels great. If I'm going to move it up the spine, put it here. I'm going to shorten it again, just so that you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to have it right here. Now I have enough range of motion to kind of like just tap it into place wherever I want it. You know, for me, with my range of motion of my arms, I don't even have to get up. I can just put it there. So depending on what your mobility is in your shoulders, you can do it in different ways, but it's always a good technique to just set it on the ground and then lay on it, and then get up and lay on it. So if I want to move it and I don't have the flexibility to use my arms, I'm going to get off of it, and I'm just going to scoop my butt up with my elbows, and I'm going to lay back on it. That feels great. The next location I'm going to work on is my neck. So again, it's the same position as the upper back, mid-back area. And I'm just going to lay my neck on it like this. That feels great. Again, the spinous processes in the middle are in the middle of the roller. We don't want to be putting direct pressure on them, and I'm just relaxing. Now my neck, I can change just the position of the blades. I don't even have to change the width. And now I'm more on the outside of my neck. That feels really great. So just targeting a little bit of a different group of muscles as I widen the blades of the roller out. I can also change the position of the roller here so that it's just a little bit wider if I want to have a little bit more of a targeted pressure. So it just is going to change the vector of the device, and by vector I mean the direction at which it's pushing into my soft tissue. So this one pushes in a little bit from the outside, the other one's a little bit from the bottom, and you can just experiment with what feels right for you and right for your neck. And with the wider position, as I put it out here to the outside, I can even get this feeling of me just sinking into the roller. So the blades of the roller, I can feel them slowly widening, and my neck is slowly going deeper into the roller. So I'm getting a shearing feeling where the roller is shearing along my neck, and it's just a passive position in that I'm just relaxing my head to allow it to happen, and I'm just letting my body slide down the roller very slowly. And as I put more weight into my head, I feel it. If my head relaxes more, it will speed up its slide until I'm all the way to the bottom. And this is just such a nice feeling. And just like drop my head back and allow the roller to open up. And now the roller is, my head is sliding down a little bit. So it's actually the roller's coming down my neck. And it's just a passive action based on me relaxing here, you know. If I want to be a little bit more targeted towards the bottom of the neck, again, same thing. I'm just going to turn the roller in and find a targeted position and hold my head just like I was doing with my upper back. It's very easy and it feels really amazing. I have a lot of upper back tension and neck tension, and this really takes care of it. The next thing I want to show you is forearms. And I'm going to have these up this far apart for my forearm right here. I'm gonna put my forearm in, and in order to get the most weight transfer, I'm gonna be on my hands and knees here, and I'm gonna be just moving my weight forward. So my legs and knees aren't moving, I'm moving my weight forward. This can also be done standing, so I can be on the side of the table here, and I can be doing the same thing here. This is much easier if you don't have the range of motion to do the work while on the ground or on the table in this case. This is going to be easier for most people. You can do this on a table, on a desk, dining room table, whatever, something fairly stable. So either position works great. Now if I want to work on my tricep, the best position here for the tricep, for me at least, is on a table or on the desk. I can just sit here, head in my hands. My head is adding weight to my tricep without me putting any effort in. Right now I'm working on the outsides of the tricep. I want to be careful on the inside here because there is a nerve, and if you're feeling nerve sensations, which is sharp pain, shooting pain, tingling, numbness, you should change your position. For me right now this feels great, no problems. But that little nerve is like right in there somewhere. So if I want to do more targeted work, I'm gonna close the device, and again I'm just gonna sit right on it, on that area that feels tender, right there. Oh, that feels good. So I'm gonna separate these a little bit just to get the spot I want, right? So before they were closed, which is fine, but I'm feeling like it's a little bit more sore on the outside here, so I want to open that blade right to the spot I want to work, and then I'm going to relax. If I'm up above it, I can get a little bit more weight into it. I can put my hand on my hip here, and this just, again, we're trying to stack weight on top, so I'm stacking with my head, I'm stacking with my arm. Hell, I could just reach up into the air, and that intensifies the weight. This feels like it's a little bit less weight. This is somewhere in the middle. This feels good to me. So for the pecs, we're gonna have this pretty wide. You want it in the fleshy bit of the pecs here. There's a bone up here, there's your collarbone here, avoid them. Too close is just not gonna be on soft tissue, so I'm gonna be about here on my pecs. I'm gonna be here and here on my pecs, and I'm gonna drop my forehead onto my hands here, so I can just relax. If I want to intensify one side, I'm going to take my foot here and rotate it this way, and I'm going to turn my whole body weight this way, and I'm going to push down into the table here so that you'll just see my whole body is leaning over this direction. This follows the same principles as I've been talking about before. We're trying to stack our weight over the device in order to increase the pressure in a way that we can still be relaxed. So I'm just going to sit here like this. This is intensifying the pressure on my left pec muscle. So the next thing I'm going to show is your shins. So this device works really great on the shins. You want it to be a little bit spaced apart, again, depending on the size of your leg. That should be good for me. I just want my shin bone to be able to sit in the middle because I'm trying to focus on the fleshy bits on the outside of the shin, right? This is all just bone, so we're trying to not work on the bone, we're trying to work on the soft tissue that surrounds that bone. So the way that I'm going to do this is real simple. Just put my leg in the device and sit on it. I can move it forward. I can put my weight into it. I can put all my weight over it. I could stand up and cross my leg in the back. That works especially well as you get closer to the ankle. And as I'm closer to the knee, where I was sitting down, works pretty good. I can also lean my body, so if I'm trying to get the outside of my shin, the peroneals, the lateral portion, I shift my hips to the side. Make sure this is opened up enough for me. I might need to change the size of the roller as I shift to the side, but this feels great actually. And then I can kind of move up and down on it this way. That feels really good. And just hang out, you know. The inside portion, same principle applies. I have my leg out, and I'm in this position here. I'm feeling it. addressing the inside of my soleus muscle, deep to the gastrocnemius in the calf, or the inside of the lower leg. That's my little quick walkthrough of the deep tissue roller. Hope this tutorial is helpful for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments or contact me. I'm happy to help. If there's a video you want to see me post that I haven't posted, or if you have questions on existing videos, let me know. I'm going to be making more videos, and I really could use the feedback as much as possible. It's helpful. Please like the video, share the video, tell your friends. You know, this is just me, man. I need all the support I can get, and your support is really, really, it's the most important thing. Your support is the most important thing. Deep Tissue Roller, deeptissueroller.com. Let me know what you think, guys.